And happy Martin Luther King Day. I am the coach Dick Cox, joined by Maggie Reaves. Very happy Martin Luther King Day today at Time Warner Arena as the Hornets win their 7th game in 8 games tonight with a blowout 105-80. I had to check the scoreboard to make sure I was correct on that, though. But a great win today. They keep momentum going, beat a team that they needed to beat today.
That's right. Coach definitely emphasized defending the ball, rebounding, and ball movement, and these guys showed it tonight. They definitely came out.
The Hornets probably had an advantage today from the standpoint that they played at home on Saturday night. Overtime win, got a lot of momentum, a very enthusiastic win. Well, the team from the Timberwolves spent their Saturday night, Sunday morning traveling cross country. So they're coming off a West Coast road trip coming in here. And it looked to me like early in the game that the Timberwolves just really did not have a lot of energy and weren't focused.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach Clifford admittedly said, this team was experiencing jet lag, but he gave, the Hornets their credit. They definitely won. They came out tonight, and they were able to move the ball well.
Again, it's big, too, that I know the last time the Hornets had early game was back during the exhibition season as far as one here at home, and they just were lethargic and just not focused. But they took advantage of the Timberwolves' problems of being a little bit tired, a little bit weary and like that, jumped on them early and did not let up.
I think they definitely played to their advantage with the jet lag they were experiencing. But, this is 7 of 8 wins for this team. So these guys definitely have the momentum. They're playing the best basketball of the year right now.
I thought Josh Rosen, our friend back in the locker room in the communications department, had a great observation, too, when he made the comment that he really thought that about a week or so ago, the Hornets had to play the Knicks in an afternoon game at Madison Square Garden. I believe it was a week ago Saturday. And he said he really thought that was big because the Hornets kind of got the experience again of playing an afternoon game. And if you stop and look, maybe they need to start playing all their games in the afternoon because they were up about 50 in that game and up 33 today. Maybe they play better in the afternoon. Maybe we need to see about getting the game times changed.
Maybe we should. I think that mixed with players are getting healthy again. We had Lance come back last game, Big Al this game. So these guys are coming back and they're getting healthy. And,
the one thing that's great today, too, with it was that the Hornets had 5 guys in double figures, but they also had 4 guys that had either 8 or 9 points for one basket away from getting double figures. And, for so many games this year, they had to depend on Al to get a big game, Kim to get a big game scoring. But a lot of guys are stepping up right now, making a contribution, and that's only going to make them better when they get everybody back and healthy when you got a lot of guys who can contribute.
It was definitely a balanced stat sheet tonight, and 27 assists tonight. There's a lot of ball movement going on. What would you say about that?
There is. That's one thing this team, I guess, without Kemba, even when they had Kemba, but without Al, they've had to change their focus. The ball went through Al when Al was in there. I always had to go through the block, but it's going through Gerald Henderson. It's going through other people now, and I think you're seeing them move the ball around a whole lot more. And when you move the ball around like that, you're going to get some wide-open looks at the basket, and it's going to lead to a lot of assists.
Coach Clifford said a few games ago that he had an emphasis on fast-paced playing with 48 shots in the first shot attempts in the first half. I'd say that they're definitely trying. They're playing some fast basketball right now. Yeah.
It is, and again, that kind of goes back to what you were saying just a minute ago too about with the ball movement. Again, when you get the ball and you're moving it around and you're making that cross-court skip pass before the defense has a chance to adjust, then you will get quicker shots, and as a result of that too, you're going to get a lot more open shots and more shots. Period. They're taking earlier shots in the shot clock, whereas that was a problem earlier in the year when the shot clock was running down and they had to put up a bad shot, a low percentage shot in the shot clock, where they're shooting earlier in the shot clock, number one, to get the open looks, but number two, if you miss it, they're getting a chance to get the rebounds, and they're doing a better job of offensive rebounding today because they had, on the offensive rebound side, they had 10 offensive rebounds, so that created more shots for them too.
Absolutely. Was there anything interesting you heard in the locker room after the game today?
Well, we had a guest, Rabbit. It was kind of funny that both of us were trying to interview Al Jefferson to get his feelings on trying to get back in shape, and Lance Stevenson came in and was putting little rabbit ears in front of our camera and other things and playing and having a good time, though. But, it was good to see in there. I had a chance to talk with Brian Roberts, who started at point the last 2 games, had 16 points today. And, again, he said that this team really is playing well. And I asked him, I said, is this a very important week for this team because you've got 3 games at home this week, which you're going to be favored to win. The Miami Heat will be a little bit tougher game on Wednesday, but the Knicks, I heard Charles Barkley made the comment the only way the Knicks will beat anybody is if they're in a coma, which I thought was funny too. But these are 3 games this week they ought to take advantage of. They have climbed. They were 5 games back out of the playoffs. They're now 1 game back and only 2 out of getting to the 7th spot, though. This is a week they can make up a lot of ground. They're starting to get people healthy. Don't know when they'll get Kemba back, but they're getting Al back. Biz continues to play well. They're hitting on all cylinders right now, though, and I think that's good for Hornet fans. You're starting to see this team really, I think, play to the expectations everybody had at the beginning of the year.
Definitely, and I heard Robert say to you, this is the best basketball that they've played all year. I think these guys know this, and they know what they're doing right now. They feel good.
It is, and we were worried because people kept saying, it's still early, it's still early, still early. Guess what? The season's half over. As of last game, this is game 42 out of 82, so we're over the halfway mark right now. So this is a point of the year when you need to start putting it together, though. And a lot of people don't realize this, too, that the Hornets played a tough early season schedule when you had to play all the beasts in the West, when you played the Golden States twice, and you played those teams that are really, really good and probably teams that have got a great chance of being in the finals. They played a monstrous schedule early in the year and took their lumps with a new team, trying to find chemistry and all like that. And this team's starting to put together, and again, I think they're well coached, and I think these guys, the pieces of the puzzle are starting to fit together.
I think these guys are moving the ball. They're feeling healthy. They're getting back together, and I think that's what's playing to these guys' advantage right now.
All right, I'm going to throw one at you right now. All right, this is Maggie's first game doing basketball with us. She did the playoff games with us with the Panthers, and hope she'll be able to do many more games with us, though. What was the biggest difference you have seen in covering an NBA game versus an NFL game?
Well, I'd say we go from a playoff football game to an NBA game against a team who's suffering a little bit of jet lag, being kind. So there were a few differences, but the similarity, I'll tell you, is these Charlotte teams play well when I cover the game. We're getting some.
You're undefeated.
That's right. I am undefeated.
and I'll make sure and tell them that too, and they'll probably request that I have you back a whole lot more. Right there, though. But you've got to love it too. That the last time we did an interview, it was drizzling rain. It was cold and all, and we're 72 degrees in this beautiful Time Warner Arena right now, though. Talk a little bit too from the standpoint, when you do post game in the locker room. We had like 58 players in there, whereas you've got a smaller. But how did you like seeing the Hornets locker room? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is very cool. It's definitely more intimate, and it was definitely more of a fun vibe in their locker room. These guys were joking around. They're having a good time. They were excited about their win. But I enjoyed it. It is very different in both levels.
and the thing is, they're both very fun, though, the cover right there, and we appreciate both of them allowing Cox Sports Broadcasting to be a part of that, though. But, you mentioned, you hit one thing right there, though. I can remember earlier in the year going in the locker room, and when things were not going well, it was like a morgue from the standpoint that nobody wanted to talk. And there were a lot of nights I didn't go in there to even talk to them because, being a former player and former coach, I knew those guys don't want to talk right there. And there's nothing that I could ask them that really needed to be asked right there, though. But it's fun to be in there right now. Again, when things are going well, there's nothing that cures anything you got better than winning ball games. And that's, like I said, right now, this is now 7 out of 8. They're playing their best basketball of the year, and they're starting to get healthy.
That's right. I remember our last interview. Cam said, simply put, winning is fun. And you could feel that in the locker room.
That's right. So it does even carry over into basketball. Closing thoughts for today.
It was a great game. I'm excited about the next one. Hopefully these guys can keep up the momentum they have going right now.
Again, things are live from the Hive. We're having a lot of fun. Great to have Maggie back with us indoors right now. Right. We've done it both indoors and outdoors. Great to have her aboard with us now with the Hornets, though. We'll be back with you on Wednesday night as the dreaded Heat come to town, though. The heat is off. But we should have some fun on that, though. We'll see if the Hornets can keep it rolling. Again, 7 out of 8 today with a 105-80 win over the Timberwolves. She's Maggie Reaves. I'm the coach, Dick Cox. Have a good Martin Luther King Day, everybody. Goodbye.
See ya.